This week, Cadillac Ct4-V launch control. This week, got this beautiful Mustang in my driveway, but today I'm not reviewing the Mustang. That's gonna be a little later this week. It's this brand new Cadillac Ct4-V, brand new for 2020, and this is the V version. Yeah. So Ct4-V, where exactly stand the Ct4 in the Cadillac lineup against the competition and all that? That can be quite confusing, so let's go back to the office. I'm gonna explain you everything about it. Yes, Cadillac have received a few changes in his car lineup in the previous years. We used to have the ATS, also the CTS and the CT6 model, but everything's been changing in the previous years. Now we can find the CT4 and CT5. So if we compare the CT5 with the CTS, the CT5 is a bit smaller than the previous CTS. Speaking of the CT4, the ATS and the CT4 is about the same size, and the CT6 is discontinued. So speaking of V model, we used to have the ATS-V. CTS-V was pretty much a four-door Z06 with a LT4 engine, and unfortunately we used also to have for about a year the CT6-V with the black wing engine inside of it. Speaking of the size and the competition of the Cadillac Ct4-V, you can find the Audi S3, the Mercedes-Benz SLA 35 AMG, and also the new BMW M230i Grand Coupe. So the new V's for Cadillacs have been a little bit toned down from the previous years. Now it's basically just like a S model in the Audi lineup. Upcoming probably next year, we're gonna see the V black wing. The V black wing is gonna be more like an RS on the Audi side, so it's gonna be a more push version, more performance, more track ready Cadillac. So if you see this new V models on the CT4 and CT5, it's not the top of the line in the performance side for Cadillac. All right, back outside with the Ct4-V. Now we know where exactly stand the Ct4-V. So behind me, brand new model, and it's a V model. So what's exactly the difference between a Ct4 and a Ct4-V? First of all, we've got that gloss black mesh grille in the front. That's really the V signature grille, I could say. Everything is white and black on this car. I really like it. There's no chrome. We've got those 19 inches gloss black wheel again, and we can see those big calipers. Those are Brembos, all painted in red. I really like it. For 2020, with these new models of V, we can find the logo here. It used to be more here on the fender, and now the V model is there. Down below, it's all gloss black, makes a really nice finish. If we go in the back of this Ct4-V, we can notice that small spoiler here and this quad exhaust. So let's go see what's under the hood of this new V model. All right, under the hood of this Ct4-V, we can find a 4-cylinder turbo, 2.7 liter, good for 325 horsepower, and 380 foot-pounds of torque, matched with a 10-speed transmission. This engine is not the first time I see this engine. We can find also this engine underneath the hood of the new GMC Sierras, Chevrolet Silverados, and a lot of upcoming new models gonna use that engine. So it's a nice surprise. No, it's no big power, big V8 under that V, but this car is smaller, still packing a lot of torque under the hood. I'm quite happy to see that engine under the hood because GM is using a lot this engine. From my point of view, for the long run, I trust a little bit more an engine they're gonna use, you know, across all the GM brands. For me, it's a big plus. It's no special engines. It's not a one-off engine with that special models. We know back in the days, Cadillac was notorious to put some special one-off engine in those Cadillac. It's not the case with this one, so it's a plus. So let's go on the road, see if this V, it's a real V. All right, behind the wheel of the Cadillac Ct4-V. Obviously, you know, even if it's a small sports sedan, you're inside of a Cadillac. Really nice ride on the road. The comfort, you know, the seats, the suspension, and all that. Really comfortable, even if we are on low profile tires, performance tires, I could say, 19-inch wheels. You know, great ride in this CT4. Unfortunately, the model I've got this week, it's the all-wheel drive, ideal for Canada. But the thing is, when you choose the all-wheel drive, you have to do some sacrifice on the performance side. Let me explain. When you buy a rear-wheel drive, it comes with the MagnaRide 4.0 and also a limited diff differential in the back. So, you know, when you're choosing and pricing the Ct4-V, the price is really similar between the rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive. And this is the main reason why, you know, when you step up to the all-wheel drive, you have to sacrifice some of those, you know, magic suspension and all that. This car's got great handling, great comfort. So when you step up to the MagnaRide in the rear-wheel drive, it's probably even better. So interior wise, everything is plain and simple, but it looks good, you know, it looks modern. You've got a nice mix of leather, stitching, brush, you know, metals and all that. Everything is really simple to use. It's a Cadillac, it's a GM product, so I'm not really lost with all the controls and all that. Super easy to use. There's a nice place to put my phone and recharge it wirelessly. Comfort wise, even if it's a small sedan, I fit really well inside. In the front, not in the back. It reminds me a little bit like a sport coupe, a little bit. The rear seats are really for kids or just a short trip. I don't really fit there, but in the front, I can really push away, you know, the seat. I feel really comfortable, a ton of space. Even if I'm in a small sedan, I really like it. I love that steering wheel also. You can really adjust it with the behavior you want to give your Cadillac, so you can really tighten it up in track mode. It comes really tight. I really like that. It reminds me a little bit of the Camaro. Speaking of these modes, there's like Tour, Sport, Track, Snow and Ice, and also you can personalize those modes with the V mode. So on the steering wheel, you've got a button. Let's just say you're down the road, you're driving relaxed and you see a nice road, you want to have some fun. You can press the V button and you can change all the behavior really quickly instead of like changing all the modes and adjusting and everything. You can do a preset with that V mode, and just with a press of a button, you press it and you're in your V mode. Speaking of performance, you can do the 0 to 100 kilometers in about 5 seconds, 5.1 seconds. Pretty quick off the line. Obviously this one is the all-wheel drive model. This all-wheel drive is not really aggressive. For me, it's not really a V, you know, all-wheel drive. It doesn't really snap like a German car, but still it's nice. Got a great acceleration. This engine behaves pretty good for a 4-cylinder turbo. You know, this engine can like tow and carry a pickup truck, so it doesn't really stress you know, carrying all this all-wheel drive and that small sedan. So this engine seems, you know, it can push a little bit more, so maybe the Blackwing is gonna be like a boosted version of this engine. I'm not sure, but overall, you know, a nice band of RPM. That this 10-speed transmission does the job. Is not as quick and crisp as a DSG you will find in an Audi, but still good transmission. Again, I think it's all about the calibration and all that. I know this transmission can be a little bit more aggressive. I think they went more with the smoothness and the luxury and the way you're driving your Cadillac than really doing something more V. And you know, that's something really I'm gonna talk about more. You know, this week, this Ct4-V, it's like a V Sport. It's not like a V like it used to be. Let me explain. Now these days, there's gonna be two kinds of V. The V like this one, the Ct4-V and the Ct5-V, and also later, probably next year, we're gonna see the V Blackwing. So the V Blackwing will be the hardcore version, the one's gonna be really pushing the limits out of the Cadillac. So let's say these new V, it's a little bit like a M340i, you know, something like that, like a AMG package, S line, you know, and at Audi you got the S3, so this is like an S3, so the V Blackwing is gonna be like a RS3. I think this Cadillac is really priced well against the competition, and you know, the powertrain and everything inside of this Cadillac doesn't scare me as much as some powertrain you will find in German brands, so that's a big plus for this CT4. Fuel economy wise, you can expect around 8.2 liters on the highway and about 11.5 liter in the city. You know, during this test this week, I was doing around probably 10 liters per 100 kilometers. I think it's not bad for a luxury sedan, especially an all-wheel drive model. You know, especially when you can push it and having some performance out of it. It's pretty decent. You know, overall this week, I was really impressed with this new CT4, a nice package, really fun to drive on a daily basis. But the only thing for me, it's missing the V spice. It's not as spicy as it used to be. I know the Blackwing is coming up. I wish that the engine would scream a little bit more, that exhaust will be louder, everything, you know, more emotion. I wish this all-wheel drive will be more snappy, everything more crisp, a little bit more sportier to get that V badge, you know. I feel like it's a nice sedan. It's not like a normal one. You can feel it's more sportier than a normal CT4, obviously. I don't mind they're putting a smaller displacement engine, but at least give me some drama, because the German cars got the drama, it's got the exhaust note and all that. So I can't wait to see the Ct4-V Blackwing. Obviously, I wish they're gonna put a LT1 V8 6.2 liter on their hood. That would be an ideal package for me with all-wheel drive and all that, but that's probably not the case. But I wish they're gonna do that. If they're doing that, oh my god, this thing will be a beast. Probably I think they're gonna keep the same powertrain and boost it up or something like that. I think the Ct5-V Blackwing will get the same V8 as the new Corvette Z06 C8. That's my prediction, but I'm not sure. But overall, very excited to see those V Blackwing, and this new Ct4-V, it's a real contender to play in that luxury small sedan market. So don't forget to subscribe, like my video, share my video, do all the usual stuff, and we're gonna see each other on the next review. All right, let's shift some gears. Let's hear the sound of this engine.